Very good evening, all the friends, all the listeners, all the dear fellow citizens of the world. Uh, right now, I'm thinking of using some of the words that I have at my command in regard to what I should mean by the magic of words, which is used as a title to different categories of words put into different shapes, like in an article, in a write-up, in a book, as its title. The magic of words, this phrase, the magic of words, clearly suggests that people talk about some sort of magic that the words have. Certain words have in certain situations, or words in general have in different contexts and situations. I have seen this phrase used as a title, as a heading to an article or to a book. And since I have been engaged with the words, I have been working with the words, I have been getting befriended at different intervals of time with the words of my choice, or with the words that attract me, or I have been admiring words uh, because they give me good meanings or they inspired me. So right now I am in a mood to decipher uh, up to my capacity as to what this phrase, the magic of words, might mean in different situations and different contexts. Uh, Words, in fact, are what? Words are the ingredients of language. Any language that is spoken or written in the world is about the words that the language uses. And we all know that words in each language of the world has mainly two groups. In one group, we have words that are supposed to be content words or lexical words or main words. In the other group, we have words that are supposed to be grammatical words or minor words or supportive words, words that assist the main words in making language. For example, a book or book is a main class word, a major word, a lexical word, because it refers to something that we have in our experience. It refers to something that is supposed to be some sort of a bank of ideas, emotions, thoughts, or expressions of human experiences. But when this word book comes with book is good, the book is good. So in a sentence like this book is good, this is a demonstrative word that refers to the book, a certain book, this book is good. So is a verb, but auxiliary verb. And because it is intransitive verb, because nothing is said about what book does. The book is good. Uh, a sentence that is a stative sentence. The state of the book is being described or is described in this sentence. The book is good. What sort of book it is? It's a good book. But what status the book has? It has a positive status. That's why it is called the book is good. Well, so it's very clear that in every language of the world, that is a living language that is used in speech, in writing, and other, uh, you can say, activities where human expressions are needed. So when the magic of words, then magic is not given to the words that are grammatical or minor words or assisting words or supportive words like prepositions like particles, uh, what you call that? You have conjunctions, exclamations. These are the words, auxiliary verbs, not the main verbs. So these are the words that don't have magic, as they say, and as I also understand, because they don't have intrinsic meanings in them. They don't refer to activities or things or qualities or lack of qualities or how things happen. So the main class words generally are attributed magic, like nouns, main verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. And it's a fact that all words are not of the same type. All words don't have magic. Even among the main class words that I have just described as nouns and main verbs and adjectives and adverbs, these are the main class words, but all words in the main class do not have magic. Uh, Certain words are highly symbolic, although all words of the main class category are symbolic. They symbolize, they stand for certain actions, certain things, certain ideas, certain emotions, certain qualities, or certain demerits, because adjectives are positive, negative. When you say that things here are very good or people here are very good, then you describe people as good, and good word is used as an adjective for the people. At the same time, you can say here people are not good. In fact, most of them are bad. So bad is an adjective, negative adjective, and that is used for the people whose behavior, whose integrity, or whose uh, personality doesn't have anything that is attractive or that is positive. Now, the question comes that in literature, we have the use of words, and the words of the same language, or words which are used in non-literary fields, in day-to-day market and day-to-day behavior. So the idea is that, or most of the people would accept this fact that uh, magic is created through the choice of words and through the arrangement of words. Words become magically powerful, or words become enchanting, and they give something special to the receivers who are capable of receiving. All people cannot receive the magic of the words. In order to understand the magic or recognize the magic in the use of words or in the words themselves, a human being has to be sensitive. He has to have experiences of different colors of life. He has to have imagination. He has to have a hunger for turning words over time and over again, and then looking at the words from different perspectives, listening to the meanings the words wish to convey to the listeners. So, an intimate relationship has to be established or has to be created between those who can feel the magic about words and the words themselves. Because when certain words are called magical, the words also are personified. The words feel better about themselves. That, well, we are the ones described as magical words, or I am the one, I am personifying words. So when you say that your behavior is as sweet as a luscious apple. So an apple is sweet because certain apples are very very sweet, and luscious, attractive also. So you are described as a person of very good behavior, as a fruit is described as very tasty, very sweet, and very aromatic also, and therefore palatable to most of the people. If words did not have magic, and the hero of one of the greatest tragedies of Shakespeare, Hamlet, would not have selected certain words to express his mental state uh, in one context, that to be or not to be, that's a question. To suffer from the slings of tortuous fortune, or to take up arms against a sea of troubles. So he is making use of the magical words to make his expression so much effective, so much communicative, so much catchy also, to be or not to be. He could have used other words to say, but then uh, in the other case, the language would not have been magical. But in a different context, he accepts that words are not magical always. They are hollow. They don't have any attraction. Words, words, words. He repeats several times. What is the worth of making use of words when the words don't carry the stamp of the heart of the speakers or the users? And this suggests that when words are selected and used with a purpose and with the stamp of honesty, intention, intensity of intention, then the words become magical. For example, when a person who is sincerely interested in an orphan and he wants to adopt that orphan, in spite of the fact that he has two, three children already, but because of his deep human sympathy, because of his pity that he takes on that orphan who is not adopted by anyone and who is almost neglected, almost in the street, unowned, unclaimed, uncared, and then you volunteer to and you speak to the child who doesn't understand anything because the child is not in a position to understand your language or understand any language because the child has not possessed or not acquired, rather acquired or learned the language. You say, you, the child, they don't describe you as beautiful, but you are a beautiful child to me. You are an angel to me. You may not have any dress now on. You may not have any attractiveness on your body, but I feel that you are an angel. I'll take you in my lap. I'll take you home. I will get you the company of the other children that I have already in the family. You are a God sent to me. You are so nice, so sweet, like a flower. And I feel the fragrance of the flower that you are. Now, these words become magical. And magical because these words mean the intensity of the feeling of affiliation, feeling of love that this man has in the heart, in his heart. And he does what he has said. The child is brought home, the child is given the company of the children of the family, the child is taken care, the child is given food, and then uh, anybody who may have observed all these things happening, a bystander or a person who is in the hiding and he wants to study human nature, he wants to study how a human being says something and how he retains that saying or behaves according to what he has said. So this person will describe the words of this man who has adopted the orphan as a man having magical words or a man using the words that are magical. We have so many examples uh, because magic generally you say that, well, it has positive meaning generally, that you give magical touches to the statues that you make or the images that you make. You have to make an image of Christ, a baby Christ, and you make the image and you make it with so much of warmth, so much of affection, so much of devotion, taking that baby child as the Son of God. And you spend so many days to give it a kind of look that is so lively and all. My idea is that Magic is something that pleases you. Magic is something that is miraculous. They are having magical life, magically good life, means extremely good life that many people won't believe. Magic is not supposed to be reality. Magic is magic because it happens suddenly and it happens beyond the imagination, beyond the comprehension of the onlookers or the people who happen to watch the magic shows or magic being played. Magic word is also used in terms of its exoticness, its pleasantness. The words that you have used for them are magical. That hearing these words, you have been enriched. You have felt as if you have had something as a reward. You have had something that is so dear to your heart. Take the example uh, this example that the King of Scotland was frustrated because of his successive defeats at the hands of the King of England. And he was not in a mood to sustain the loss, to sustain the grief of losing his kingdom. And he decides to commit suicide. He wants to end his life. But when he is very near that commission of suicide or that act of ending his own life, he hears something said as an oracle: life is precious. Defeats are the usual things in life, failures are the usual things in life, but life is precious. If life is, defeats can be converted into victories, frustrations can be changed uh, uh, into ladders of successes. Failures are the pillars of success, they say. So yes, this proverb itself is magical. Failures are the pillars of success. A person who doesn't have sensibility, a person doesn't have who doesn't have imagination, a person who doesn't have positivity in the mind, he can't understand the meaning of this saying, failures are the pillars of success. What connection there could be between failures, failing every now and then, and success? But then somebody sensible, reasonable, imaginative can understand that failures are not the ends of life, or one failure or two failures, uh, five failures do not mean that you have nothing left with you. You have nothing within you. You can take the failures inside, in your stride, and you can try again, and you can try with more dedication, more honesty, and you will succeed, and people succeed. So many people on the verge of uh, committing suicide, they are saved by oracles. They are saved by advices through magical words of some people, unseen people, unrecognized people. Suddenly you meet a person and he speaks to you in such a way, even you have not said anything about your problems to him. That person maybe see your type, he understands your psychology, he understands how much grieved you are, and he tells you something. Or when you share your pains to a person, sensitive person, sensible person, good person, that person makes use of certain words by way of advising you or suggesting you or just consoling you that you need not be so much frustrated, you need not be so sad about these developments in your life or these sad events in your life. Life is open, life is you can say so much potential. It loses at one phase of time, but it gains 10 times as much as one has lost. And these words get you back to the track. These words make you feel that, well, I have the potential, I have the ability, I can come back, I can I can restore my prestige, my determination, my dignity, and I can do. so many examples we have in our world. And then when it comes to literature, we see that a passage, take for example, some of the passages from one act play of Rabindranath Tagore, Malini. This two-act play is staged very often in schools, colleges, in the universities as well. Whenever you have some festivals, Buddhistic festival, or a festival in which religious and scriptural and texts that give the message of love, universal love, when people recognize some merit in a text like that. Malini is a text by Rabindranath Tagore, but it merits the attention of people from all over the world because it talks about love, it talks about integration, it talks about tolerance, it talks about making the world good for everybody. The kings or the powerful people or the rich or the paupers, all people have a right to live nicely, and all people have a right to develop and feel the greatest of the greatness of this world. And that way, the passages I wanted to refer to from that two-act play Malini, so nicely arranged, so nicely structured, and you exclaim to yourself, what a beautiful passage it is. What nice words have been used in the passage. I would like to read the passage over and over again. So you do that. You read the passage, the conversations between Supriya and Kemankar, the two main characters, besides the most important character, Malini herself, who is the princess of Kasi, and she understands the value of the message of love in the Buddhist scriptures or Buddhist teachings, and she wants to integrate Hinduism with Buddhism, although Buddhism is an offshoot of Hinduism, they say. Hinduism has been, and Buddhism perhaps a kind of reaction to the conservativeness or conservative elements in Hinduism. So, love, Hinduism talks about love, Christianity talks about love, all religions talk about love, but love that is simple, that can be had and realized simply. You don't have to go through the rituals to get the love. So, Malini is talking about love, and some Brahmins like Kemankar and Supriya, particularly Kemankar, he doubts the intentions of Malini. He thinks that Malini has been brainwashed by the Buddhist monks, and she has stopped being a practicing Hindu or an admiring Hindu, and perhaps she would drive a wedge between the ways of life that Hinduism admires admires, and non-Hinduism, suppose you you may say accept and all. But there was no rift in the mind of Malini. There was no dislike for Hinduism or Hinduistic ways of life in the mind of Malini. She only wanted to emphasize that love is open, and all can embrace love, and all the world can prosper, can generate happiness in life of humans as well as non-humans through love, sharing, caring, and all. Uh, we have so many passages in the novels also. For example, Thomas Hardy's happiness is but an occasional episode in the general drama of pain of life. Magical words means when you are talking about how sad, how gloomy the world is, and then you give instances that see how this man lived and how this man died, how this man loved his children, and how when he became old or he became weak, his children discarded him, neglected him. And then you make a statement on the tragic life of certain characters, certain people, and your words are so powerful, so magically structured that effects are felt by the people who read or who listen to that structure of language, that text is listened to, and you get moved. You have tears in your eyes. And what brought or what generated tears in your eyes? It's the magicalness of the words. the power that the words acquire because of their combinations and permutations and the context in which these words are used. We have an opening sentence in the novel of Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice. It's a fact universally acknowledged that a man of this must be in search, must be in want of a wife. So Jane Austen, a writer of social comedy, through her novels, she is being ironical about that, that human beings are not having equal treatment. How uh, uh, even if a woman, even if a girl is from a rich family, it's difficult for her to choose someone or to get a match for herself. But it's not that difficult for a man from the similar background to have a girl as his wife because of the male domination or male preference. A male is approached by several parents of marriageable girls, but a girl is not generally approached by the parents of the marriageable son. And in that context, an ironic statement is made, and it's so striking. So that statement is magical. We have magic of words that we can see when you are almost gone, almost extremely angry, and then something is told you, something is said to you, and your anger comes down, and you feel ashamed of yourself that you allow anger to rise up, and then you get cool, you understand the thing. So literature and good literature, we have novels, we have beautiful short stories, we have dramas, dialogues. When we have this dialogue to from Macbeth, again from one of the plays of Shakespeare, one of the tragedies. And Macbeth realizes in the last phase of his life how foolishly he has acted, he has lived. And he makes a conclusive statement about his experience of life. Life is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. And see, these few words in a line or two bring to your mind the synopsis of certain kinds of life. What sort of life is like that? A tale told by an idiot, the life that has not been lived positively. Macbeth is talking about himself, he's reflecting himself that his life has been full of sound and fury because he has not lived morally. He has not lived according to the calls of his conscience because he has murdered his cousin king or his king cousin, King Duncan, king of Scotland, who had been so much kind to him, so much generous to him, and who had given him so much, so many opportunities to prove his bravery, to prove his heroism, and because of certain devilish suggestions, ironical suggestions by witches, and then these suggestions believed in by his wife, Lady Macbeth. So the witches and the insinuations of Lady Macbeth, these combine deadly, in a deadly manner, and Macbeth happens to commit the murder of the king who is a guest at his residence, at his palace. So he realizes, and there could be people who live, suppose, in a way that is a blissful way, nice way, and even the luck is in favor of that person. He may say, life is a tale told by a wise man, full of music and blessings. So experiences of life. You say life is a bed of roses, life is a bed of thorns, life is a woven texture of joys and woes. Life can be only woes to some people. Life can be happiness to a great extent. It is therefore uh, very appropriate to say that words have the power. Words can create life. Words can save life from getting distracted. It is the words that can trigger conflicts, badly used, badly organized, badly meant, and it's the words that can make hell a heaven, that can change the hellish situations into heavenly situations. So, those who have referred to uh, words having the magical power, these people are not out of wits. They are very witty, intelligent, and they have had the experience. They have seen the world of words. They have lived in the world of words. They have played with words. They have befriended words. And writers, thinkers, men of letters, even a person unlettered, not having studied in colleges, universities, even that person, self-made, self-taught, having interest in words, can play with the words, experiment with the changing meanings of words, changing colors of words. And even that person, unlettered, uneducated, having no university education, a commoner can feel that words have magic, and words become magical when they are used with positive frame of mind, with honesty, with the intention of making things more beautiful, making the world more beautiful. So, in poetry generally, magical words, because poetry is the most condensed form of language of literature. Literature is nothing but very special, very systematic, very rhythmical, melodious arrangement of words. Literature is rich in suggestiveness, in connotations, in symbolism. It is because of the magical choice of words, or very clever, very artistic and imaginative choice of words, and their arrangements in different combinations and permutations. I therefore feel that the magic of words is the right phrase, and you can feel it, you can live with the magic of words if you have sensibility, if you read a lot, if you listen to a lot of people who have had the experiences of reading themselves, who have had a love of books, who have spent time with words, making friendship with the words, recognizing them, uh, telling them to reveal themselves to them. That is how a kind of relationship is made. That is how an expertise is acquired. An expertise in the choice of words, in the arrangement of words, an expertise in the imaginative use of words. And if all these things are had, all these things are done, then there is the magic in the words. There is the possibility of creating magic in the words. So this much I have been able to reflect on what they mean by the magic of words. And there could be so many other things to be used in the reflection, but just for a random reflection, just for a reflection of freedom, comfort, and use and ease, I have I have spoken this much. So, thanks a lot for listening to, and you may have your own sessions with reflections on the meanings of the term magic of words. You can do yourself, and I may listen to you. And it is good that we listen to one another. We think of the words, of the expressions, of the styles of one another, and that way we entertain ourselves also, and we also have the possibility of enriching our experiences, sharing our experiences, and making life worthwhile, making life worth living. This is also a kind of living that people do, reflecting on things, sharing things, and getting across to the audience. This is what life is all meant to do. All right. God bless us all. Bye bye.